Howdy, this is Hudson Valley Hank coming to you lightly buttered and gravy smothered, here today to talk about the lifeblood of the second greatest valley on earth. I'm of course talking about diners. Diners first popped up in the late 1800s when a strapping young night owl named Walter Scott opened a nighttime lunch wagon in Providence, Rhode Island. Walter's wagon served up grub to hungry professionals after the drab daytime restaurants had shut down. This wagon window concept evolved greatly over the next few years. The first alteration was made by Samuel Jones, who placed a few seats in his rolling restaurant. Then others began opening stationary cars that fit several customers at once. The name dining car was shortened to just diner in the 50s, and the grease has been slinging ever since. The diner is one of the last remaining examples of the melting pot concept America used to proudly boast. When you enter a diner, it's as if time is suspended in the dated decor and heavy oil-saturated air. You never know if you'll be sharing the creamer with politicians, judges, and children, or drunks, junkies, and old Hank. No matter who you are, you want good hot food at a nice price, so a diner is always a fan favorite. Kiddies love diners because they can color on the placemats and drink chocolate milk in a cartoon cup from 30 years ago. Adults love them because the only real cure for a hellacious hangover is 3 gallons of hog fat, 2 parliaments, and listening to The Gambler replayed a half dozen times on a janky jukebox. Diners are a little slice of Americana, primarily for us folks in the northeastern part of the states. New Jersey is the diner capital of the world, because the state was home to the largest diner manufacturer, Jerry O'Mahony, and also because of the state's large Greek population. Greeks may not know how to run their own economy, but they damn sure can run a diner. New York is close to the top spot, but there are less than half as many diners as there were just 20 years prior in the Empire State. This reduction has been sorely felt in the second greatest valley on earth. Without diners, Guy Fieri would only have 10 shows on the Food Network, there'd be no more pictures of food on menus, and the world production of toothpicks would come to a screeching halt. Old Hank is just not ready to live in a dinerless dystopia and hopes his fans aren't either. Old Hank has several fond distant diner memories, from going as a chunky child being scolded by the waitstaff for playing with a window shade, to eating eggs every different way after drawing a load of hay with my dad as a tubby teen. In Hank's hometown there is currently a diner dilemma. The diner old Hank grew up gorging in has gone up in smoke, and the one down the road has become a bit of a joke as they are no longer open for dinner. A diner that doesn't serve supper is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. Sure, they serve up a hearty breakfast and lunch, but it's just not the same. A diner has its doors and menu open round the clock, just waiting for a hungry patron to stumble up to a stool. This side is somewhat hallowed ground, as this is where my family's diner stood for the better part of a century. You could say diner food is in old Hank's blood, not just because I gobbled my first Gerber from a greasy spoon, but also because my great-grandfather was the pioneer who picked this stretch of Route 209 as the perfect place for a diner. It started out as a quaint roadside luncheoner/fill station built out of the remains of a dilapidated barn. Then sections were later added on to make it a full-size diner. Because the newer stainless steel diners were all the rage, my great-grandfather brought a used prefab diner from Long Island and perched it where his previously hand-built model had resided, and the rest is history. Hudson Valley Hank's family got out of the diner business before old Hank was born, and I never did get to meet my great-grandfather. But I borrowed his nickname and marveled at his hard work and ingenuity, so I thought the least I could do was make folks aware of the mark he left on old Hank in this town. This has been Hudson Valley Hank. You can take it to the bank. Sleep peaceful, sweet valley o' mine.